Peace, family. This is Dr. Sadiki Baye coming to you once again. You know, coming from uh, a couple of weeks of me taking off for my Earth Day, and which was a blessing to uh, to travel 365 revolutions around the sun. So here we go again, continuing my journey. But the last couple of weeks also, I got new equipment, that I haven't really uh, gotten under grip yet. So I had 2 weeks that I didn't present my subject matter, and one of them was on racism, and the other one is on um, representing. But I will get it to you, and I will get it to you soon. But we must continue on. But I just want to thank you for your patience and thank you for the calls that people were giving me, wondering, am I still sending out messages of upliftment, which is essential to our balance. And I let them know, what the situation was, but I'm back in stride again. So this is the day that the Lord has made, and we must rejoice and be glad in it. Must rejoice and be glad in it. And we must continue to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. So, family, today, I'm excited as usual. The topic today is on spirituality. Whoa. Now, I want you to really, focus on what is being said. And prayerfully, you are accepting it the way I'm giving it to you. And you take it to another level. So, prayerfully, I'm motivating, inspiring you, and encouraging you to go to another level, to show your self approval. But we're going to talk about spirituality, the essence of who we are. So, spirituality is the quality of a concern of the human uh, spirit and soul. It is the quality, family, of being connected or being concerned with the human spirit and soul as opposed to material and physical things. In other words, it is a state of mind that is connected to God or the spirit world. So, family, I mentioned two things to you: spirit and soul. So, what is the spirit? What is the soul? Where the spirit is a non-physical, which is means it's non-physical, and it really deals with not the physical, but it deals with uh, which is it's actually the seat of our emotions and our character. That's what spirit means. It's the seat of our emotions and our character. Now, soul is uh, immaterial, which is the part of a person that um, deals with or is synonymous with the person's mind and the person's self. So the spirit deals with the connection that the person have with God, or it deals with the seat of a person's feelings and character. Just getting back in the flow. My mind is speeding right now, but I'm gonna get it to you, and I'm gonna give it to you correctly. So the spirit is the seat of a person's feelings or their emotions and their character, wherein the soul deals with the essence of a person's connection with God or with his mind or the self, which is the principles of life, the principle of feelings, the principles of uh, thought, and the principles of the purpose, life's purpose. So that's the difference between the two. And we must understand differences because what they do, as usual, is they play the word game on us. And since this is a bastard language, which is English, a lot of languages thrown together, that's why they have so many different meanings. They can play the word game on us. So we must go back, we must deal with etymology, the original meaning of words, the original meaning of terms. And that's where I come from, the original, because they give us everything after it's diluted and mixed and twisted and so forth and so on. So, there is a difference between spiritual or spirit and soul. And the spirit refers to the connection and the communications of the person with God or the spirit world. And the soul refers to the person, or it actually refers to, let's see, how can I put it? It can be kind of self-centered. And what I mean by self-centered, it makes you who you are, and it makes you who you are after you pass on. Again, it's kind of self-centered, the soul. It's kind of makes you, it deals with the self-centeredness of yourself, which lets you know who you are and who you are after you pass on. When the spirit is connected and it communicates with God or the spirit world. Now, family, spirituality involves the recognition of a feeling or a sense or being or being of knowing that there is something that is more superior than you are. Spirituality. Remember that, family, that it involves the recognition that there is something that is bigger than you, something that is more superior than you. So life is bigger and greater than the individual. Now, let us know also that spirituality and religion, yes, spirituality and religion is two different things. Okay, what's the difference? Okay, religion is when you go by a set of established and organized beliefs and practices of a group or community. Wherein spirituality deals with the inner person, the inner person's level of peace and purpose. So spirituality deals with your balance, your inner peace and purpose, wherein the religion is just deals with a set of rules and practices of a group or a community. So spirituality is more individualistic. Being an individual is an individual thing. And that's why it deals with the inner you. That's what makes it individualistic. You go within yourself and tap into your peace. You tap into your purpose. And that's the difference between religion and spirituality. Most of us are so religious, we forget about being spiritual. And don't forget, spirituality is an individual thing. You tap it into your essence to maintain balance, and that's what peace is. Purpose, the knowing that your purpose is bigger than yourself. So let's know the difference, family, because there's too many religious people, and we must take it to another level. And later on, I'm going to explain to you or share with you uh, some more about what spirituality is, as far as the difference between the group concept compared to the individual's efforts. So, family, spirituality is more of, like I said, an individual effort to tap into your peace, into your purpose. Now, a spiritual person is synonymous with a person that's main goal is to prioritize his goals to loving himself or loving yourself and loving others. The highest priority of a spiritual person is to love yourself and to love others. And the others should be the ones who look like you and the ones who believe as you believe. When in fact, they told us that God loves everybody. No. Is it necessary that God loves everybody? No. Is it necessary that I love everybody? No. It says, love ye one another. Who's one another? Those who look like you and who believe as you believe. Let's get that straight, family. We're the only ones that go for the okie doke of loving everybody. God say loves everybody. How can you love everybody when you haven't even started with yourself? You haven't even forgiven yourself, which is one of the hardest things to do, is to forgive yourself. We forgive everybody else, but we forget about self. And when you have forgiven yourself, what actually happens is you are laying your burdens down. That dead weight. Because first and foremost, we must understand that making mistakes is all a part of learning. It's all a part of life. It's all a part of your journey. So don't be so hard on yourself. The key to it all is, what did you learn from your mistakes? We understand that when we're dealing with the system, when we go to these schools that make you a fool, we make mistakes, but what do? We correct ourselves. Why? Because it's a requirement. Okay, then why don't we prioritize and make it a requirement when we're dealing with life? Let's correct ourselves. Let's learn from all experiences. Experiences are nothing but opportunities to learn. To learn about what? To learn about yourself, first and foremost. And to know that there's a higher power, a superior being that's greater than you. That's a beautiful thing to know. And whether you call it God or the universe or Allah or Yahweh or Buddha or Jesus or Moses or Abraham or I am or the Most High or whatever you call it, there's 99 attributes, but there's only one. So what is the problem? The problem is religion. Those organized set of beliefs and practices of a group and a community. Because all religions feel that they have the only answer. How is that possible? When everybody's saying there's only one God, there's only one supreme being. It doesn't matter what you call it. It's what it is. It's the nature of it. So if Broad Street is the destiny or the destination for everybody to get to, then you have to choose your way to get there. The key is to get there. So we must get rid of this foolish concept of I have the only answer. All that our religion is created to divide, to separate, to never come together. And when you're not about that coming together, then how can you be godly? How can you profess to be a child of God when you're about separation, when you're about hate, when you're about disrespect, when you're about not even about love, not even loving yourself? Because all of us are connected. But they did a job on us. And they did a job on us for 500 years to the point where it's a wonder any of us can think. But the Most High, or God, or whatever name you want to give the universe, is only one. And so we must find a way to regain our balance of who we really are as the original people, as the chosen ones, as the children of God. We are. We are the Sun people. We are Alpha and Omega. So we must represent that. We must honor that. We're not as honorable as we used to be. It's almost like every generation gets weaker. Why? Because of science, the law of inertia, which means things are in motion have a tendency to stay in motion and pick up. So we must reverse it and go back, go Sankofa and go back and get it. We owe that to ourselves. We owe that to our children. Stop blaming the children. They are a result of something. They are the effects of a cause. And the cause is that the ones before them did not give them correct guidance, direction, and protection. So we must redeem ourselves. Because everybody make mistakes. But there is such thing as redemption. And we must get busy to fulfill our purpose and to create a righteous legacy that will last for generations to come. Family, we can do it. Some of us are doing it, but we need more to do that so that we can have a righteous future that will be honorable and representing. So with that in mind, family, let's know and understand that all people are not religious. All people don't pray. All people don't meditate. But guess what? You still can be spiritual. And I guess people saying, what? How was that possible? Because it sounds like a contradiction, doesn't it? Yes, it does. But guess what? Just be religion. We are religion. We are a prayer. We are meditation. In other words, just be. Claim it. Be it. So you don't have to, but then after you get to that certain level, then you connect with the ones who believe as you believe. That's what you call ultra power. That's what you call God. One person is worth 1,000 regulars. Two people is worth 2,000. Three good people is worth 3,000. On and on and on. So we must unify our spiritualness and stop being so religious. No one has the only answer. Everybody has an answer, not the only answer or all the answers. We are brothers and sisters. Some people took one way and some people took another way, but that does not make us not brothers and sisters. It's almost like what Malcolm X says, just because kittens are born in the oven don't make them biscuits. And that's true. We are family, and we must demonstrate that. We must execute that. We must be that. So the ones who are not about religion, not so religious, practicing religion and practicing prayer and practicing meditation, guess what? They're already there. They're just being. Just be. Remember what it says in our books? It says just be. Even though we know that religion means to bind back, to return back, to reflect back. But if you're already there, you already that. So just be. Be a prayer. Be a meditation. Be a child of God. Be the wise one. Because a wise man goes by what he knows, not what he feels. So family, with that in mind, there are 3 elements. Keep this in mind now. There are 3 elements to spirituality. The first element is relationship. And the relationship is with yourself and your connection with the supreme being, whatever you want to call it, him or her, no matter what. The relationship with the universe, the relationship with your reality. That's the first element of spirituality. The second element is values. What do you value? Do you value something that is bigger than yourself? Or you just value yourself and something else in this world? You have to have a spiritual value system of something that is bigger than you, something that is greater than you. And the third one is life's purpose. What is your purpose? And keep in mind that everything that exists has its purpose. Our responsibility is to find its reason. So, once again, relationship, values, and life's purpose. Those are the 3 elements of spirituality. Now, how do you become spiritual? That is extremely important. How do you become spiritual? The first thing that comes to mind is meditate. And what I mean by that is to tap into that peaceful place that's within you. Tap into it. And the key is, can you stay there no matter what's going on around you? So meditation with peace and purpose. That's the first thing that comes to mind when you become spiritual, or you have a desire to want to become spiritual. The second thing is always read spiritual materials to help you keep your balance. Everybody needs support, and it comes through your efforts. So always read to know and understand spirituality. The third thing is to always be mindful to stay grateful. Stay grateful, because most of us be doing too much bitching and complaining when it is what it is. The fourth thing is to get involved in nature. Have a relationship with nature. because for too long, we are thrust into the cities, concrete and asphalt. And don't forget, the environment dictates, and this is hard and cold environment. We got to be more in tune with nature. Go to the parks, go to the country, go to the mountains, and vibe off of that energy, because we are that. All those other people came from these cold, hard mountains, the Caucasus Mountains, and all these kind of mountains, that is cold and hard. And that's why in the cities they build them tall towers and tall buildings. It reminds them of being up in the mountains. We have a culture that it doesn't go higher than 3 stories because the whole energy changes. Check it out for yourself. We always stay close to earth. Put your feet down, put your 10 toes down and dig in and get the job done. Be ye in this world, but not of it. The fifth one is to always be open to signs from the universe. Always be open for signs from the universe, because the universe will speak to you. It'll let you know the do's and the don'ts. Let you know whether you're on time or not, on point or not. And the sixth one that comes to mind is mindful breathing, intentional breathing. And what I mean by that, an example of that is, look at a baby. When they breathe, what be moving? Their stomachs. They breathe in, they breathe out. They breathe in, they breathe out. But when you're stressful and when you become older, we start doing high breathing, which is stressful breathing. We got to do that gut breathing, that deep breathing. Don't you know that is the that God area is our gut. That deep thing, the super conscious is what I was thinking of. There's 3 conscious. They said it was only 2, conscious and subconscious. No, there's conscious, subconscious, and super conscious. That gut is the super conscious, which is that God level conscious, that deep level conscious. We used to be deep people, but we have become shallow people. We got to get deep again. We got to go back and get it. We got to qualify ourselves. And always remember that all disease happens in the gut. So we must be correct in our breathing. So again, the 6 the 6 elements, or the 6 things that we need to do to qualify ourselves to be spiritual, is meditation, or the peace of purpose within. Do spiritual reading. Practice gratitude. Stay in tune with nature. Be open to signs from the universe. And the last one is mindful breathing. Family, these are the qualifications of becoming a spiritual person. We have to understand process. They took us out of the element of being a process people, and we go on how we feel. Don't you know that feelings come and go? Feelings can cause you to misread, misjudge, exaggerate, and feelings can even cause you to disrespect yourself. So the wise man goes by what he knows, not what he feels. Be careful with your feelings. Put your breastplate on. And what I mean by that, the breastplate protects your chest where your heart is. Protect your heart because the heart is the center of who we are. Remember that. That's why everybody want to play on us. And the main one that they're after is the female because she's the most vulnerable one because of her nature. And they get her to work whatever they need worked. You have the man, the woman, and the child. If they can get that one in the middle, they'll get her to work both ends. And look at what's happening. The average female is trying to prove she don't need a man. Okay, she don't need a man who's going to help balance her, who's going to help protect her and the children, who's going to provide for her. Now, I know that we had experiences with each other, but don't forget where we come from. We came from oppression. We came from, we are very traumatized because of the slavery thing. And don't forget, slavery was specifically for the man. Even though certain things happen to the female too. But they're not afraid of female and children. They want to get that man. That's why every time they conquer, they kill the man and plant their seed in the woman. Now you got a new kind of people that's speaking their language and practicing their religion. It happens all over the world, family. It is what it is. Study and you'll find out that what I'm saying is true. And I will encourage you to do that. So we must be saying, Kof, and go back and get it. And go back to get our reality. That's a deep thing to think about. So family, spiritual beliefs includes the relationship with the superior being, and not only the relationship with the superior being, but it is related to the existential perspective of life, death, and the nature of reality. Whoo! Have mercy. I'm telling you, family, we got to get deep again. We got to have that relationship, which is related to the existential priority or perspective of life, death, and the nature of reality. It's in us. So we must tap into it and bring it out. That's what makes us complete, but yet incomplete. The completeness is that it's there. The incomplete is that we have to tap into it and bring it out. And that's going to take some effort. After 500 years of pure torture and pure hell, it's a wonder any of us can think or do right or have a desire to want to do right. That is at least a miracle. But our Father always said that he would have remnants, no matter how it seemed. But you got to qualify yourself. And according to your beliefs, it is done unto you, so we must claim it. And then execute it. So family, spirituality affects who you are. It affects your life. And it affects your life by you feeling a higher being. Feeling that there is a higher being. Not only feeling, but sensing it, believing it. That there's a higher being, a higher power, which promotes better confidence. It promotes better self-esteem. It promotes better self-control. Once you get on that road of spirituality, you elevate. So you elevate to better confidence, better self esteem, better self control. That's what we need. That's balance. So, in conclusion, family, the bottom line is spirituality causes you to know and understand your experiences better. It'll cause you to know your experiences better. Not only that, spirituality, it helps you know your experiences better, but spirituality causes you to know who you are and to know that there's a higher being other than yourself. It'll keep you connected with the higher powers that we call God, Yahweh, Jehovah, Buddha, Jesus. It doesn't matter what you call it. There's only one. I am is one. So be careful what you put behind I am. I am tired. I am sick. No. That's not the God that I know. That's not the supreme being that I know. So my final statement is this. Spirituality is a dreamer. Spirituality is a dreamer. And what do I mean by that? You dream about the things that are going to happen, and you dream about the things after it happens, before and after. That's why they call Joseph in the scripture a dreamer. Dr. Martin Luther King was a dreamer, wasn't he? Remember he preached his funeral and everything? He knew he had vision. A lot more of us were dreamers. We have to be dreamers, our family, to really visualize before things happen and after it happens. But you have to have your balance for that. You have to be open. You have to be flexible. You got to know who you are and whose you are. Spirituality. It's non-material. It's immaterial. It's about your inner self and your connection with the universe. And that will help you understand your experiences. For you not to be tripping and burdening yourself down and beating yourself up. But knowing and understanding is the key. So with that in mind, family, let us all come together and feed off of each other's energy to step it up. We left something behind, so we got to go Sankofa. Don't forget Sankofa is a West African bird that is always looking back while it's moving forward. And that symbolizes that when he looks back, he never forget where he come from. It never forgets where it comes from. While it has a seed in its mouth, and the seed represents the future. So they never forget where they come from, but they're moving the future forward. And we got to go Sankofa. Spiritual bird. Everything about us is spiritual. They knocked us down to the lowest level. We are spiritual, mental, and physical. They told us we are physical, mental, and spiritual. No, they're physical, mental, and maybe spiritual. But we are spiritual first, mental, and then physical. But they flipped us upside down. So we got to go back and get it and qualify ourselves to be that spiritual being that we are, the original children of God. So with that in mind, family, continue to stay strong and keep your faith where it belongs. and do your best and let God do the rest. You got to know when to hold and know when to fold, but you have to have a sharp discerning spirit to know the difference so you won't be using emotions. Keep your head towards the universe where all strength comes from, and never give up and never ever ever give in, no matter how things seem, which is emotions, because everything is, always was, and always will be in divine order. God don't make no mistakes, but we do. But when you learn from them, it's all good. And learning can be painful. Remember, no pain, no gain? But when you get through the pain, you can't beat the blessings. Keep your lights on and keep them bright at all times. Family, I love you. I bless you, and I want you to prosper. And always remember to view my other videos of different topics that is essential to our balance, essential to our healing, because all of us got something to answer, got something to offer. And I want to invite you to review them and pass it on. Family, this is Dr. Sadiki Baye saying Hotep, Baraka, and peace. And know that I am your servant. Happy new journey, happy new life, happy new you. This is Dr. Sadiki Baye doing all I can to motivate, inspire, and encourage you to move forward. I love you, I bless you, and I want you to prosper. Peace.